Hello, everyone. I hope everyone can. I hope everyone can hear me okay. So we just started our live stream, crypto live stream, and joining with me is Neeraj Patel. I interviewed Neeraj. I think okay, he has to restart the computer, no problem. So this is going to be the live stream for cryptocurrencies especially, and you can ask any question. It doesn't have to be technical. You can ask pretty much any questions. uh, Also maybe investment advice as well. We'll try to give our best answer. And Ayush Gupta is saying hi, panda in the background. Yes, I like pandas. Pandas, you see pandas. Pandas is my favorite. So welcome everyone, and I'm really sorry the we started a little late. My friend Neeraj is joining soon. He is having some issues with his computer, so he is going to restart his computer and join pretty soon. So let's wait for a few more minutes. All right. So okay. So I'm just discussing with my friend Neeraj. I will start taking the questions. So the first question is from Harry's Corp, mining Python code with blockchain reference. So I already put a video on my channel. It is the most popular video on my channel, Bitcoin mining with 15 lines of Python code. That video was really to give you an understanding of the core mining algorithm. In real life, you wouldn't use Python for Bitcoin mining. You would use C++ or even assembly code, to make your mining faster. People use specific type of hardware like ASIC hardware. There is a company which Neeraj mentioned to me. Once he joins, we'll talk about that company as well. So the purpose of this hardware is to produce the hash at a very faster rate so that you can get your required hash, like the required hash with leading zeros really fast. So Python code, my video was just to give you an idea on the basic algorithm. The algorithm is pretty simple. It's like SHA-256. You try to generate, take bunch of transactions, and you generate a SHA, which has fixed number of leading zeros, and that's called your difficulty. And difficulty varies, time to time. So in order to do a real Bitcoin mining, you need a couple of things. First of all, you need a advanced hardware, specifically like ASIC hardware. You need to invest in setting up a mining rig because there are many miners like Antpool, for example, is one of the popular miners. So these miners have multiple computers and they use this specific hardware to do a fast mining. You need to also consider electricity bill, by the way, because you are just doing trial and error and you're burning your electricity at a faster rate. So if you have the budget, which can support that the type of electricity bill and hardware setup, then obviously you can go ahead and start mining. Bitcoin is trading very high, around $40,000. It used to be $60,000. So just a second, I'm getting a call. Hey, Neil. Huh. Did you join the Zoom call? Yeah, if you join the Zoom call, then yeah, we can connect. મને request આવી નથી, એટલે if you can send me a request. Yeah, I did not get a request. Oh yeah, click on today's meeting. Yeah, now I see it. Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, so my friend Neeraj was trying to come, so he called me. So I think he's available here now. So Neeraj, by the way, I interviewed Neeraj, I think a few days back. He's a founder of Order Hive. He is a serial entrepreneur based in Silicon Valley, California. He's a good friend of mine, and he is a Bitcoin enthusiast. So he brings a lot of you can see his Bitcoin background. So he brings a lot of useful insights on this whole topic. So Neeraj, we started. I already answered the first question. Do you want to answer the second question from Pawan Kumar Kompela? Are you able to see the questions?
Yeah, so the first one was how Bitcoin and blockchain is going to change our lives. Talk
Yes.
about some of the real life business use case. So there are two things over here, right? Bitcoin, and the other thing is a blockchain, right? So Bitcoin, yes, it is going to change our life because it is basically Bitcoin as a technology or as an application is a competing monetary uh,
System almost.
system, yeah, which is basically made to compete against the central banks of the world, around the world, and their biggest competitor is Federal Reserve. So they are out to disrupt the Federal Reserve with Bitcoin, right? And we are kind of on the way. There has not been uh, there like year over year, you can see the higher adoption of the Bitcoin. People are selling their US dollars for buying Bitcoin. Okay, and then we can see that from the increase in the price. Okay, so we are seeing that the adoption of Bitcoin as a means for storage of the wealth, like store of value, is getting stronger and stronger. Like lot more people are using Bitcoin as a store of value.
And you
And
can buy, like, say, I was visiting New York, some coffee shop, and they were accepting Bitcoin. So it's not like it is just stock. Like there are coffee shops, Home Depot, Overstock, even Microsoft Store, they accept
correct.
Bitcoin. You can buy stuff. Even Tesla, you can book your Tesla with Bitcoin.
No,
So
no more,
it's,
no more, no more. I think Tesla walked back on that.
oh, is it?
Three weeks. I think 3 or 4 weeks back, right? The sudden decline in the price of Bitcoin that we saw was because Tesla, Elon Musk, specifically said that he's concerned about the, coal-powered
Environment.
mining, yeah, which Tesla cannot participate. Of course, for the brand reason, they have to be closer to everything that's green. So, he would not be accepting, Bitcoin, but he won't sell the Bitcoins that he has already bought. So
Yes.
you can, say that, there is some level of hypocrisy going on there. But
Yes.
yeah, so Bitcoin, see, the real utility of Bitcoin is not in its spending, it is in its savings, right? So how much, when you buy a Bitcoin, you are actually, exchanging your US dollars for Bitcoin, and you're saving that, that US dollar, or the value that you have in the Bitcoin. Okay, and Bitcoin guarantees that in some way that the price of Bitcoin will increase, and you will get more or less the same amount, most likely more than what you invested today, in the future. And the second thing is, anywhere you go, because Bitcoin is a global asset, you could, exchange it for, you can, buy it for a US dollar and then sell it for Australian dollar. Like, you can go to Australia or New Zealand and buy, or go to India and buy the, Indian currency from that. And so for a store of value, there should be two properties. You should be able to save the value to it, and in any given space and time in future, like space and time, like you can go from here to India, or maybe 5 years from now, that's the time dimension to it. You should be able to retrieve that value back from the asset that, and that's what the Bitcoin has been made for. Okay.
Just like gold, you can,
Yeah,
I can
gold.
take
Yeah,
gold to India, or I can go take gold 5 years, its value is going to. So it's just like, this is so that
exactly.
common person understands it,
Yeah. So Bitcoin is basically, you can call it gold 2.0 or 3.0. I would.
Digital gold, they call it.
Yeah, digital gold, and I think it has a significantly more like better properties, or like on certain parameters it works out even better than the gold. Okay. So the utility, like the main use case of Bitcoin, is the store of value. Like you put and save your saving, you make the savings, and then in future you can retrieve back your value. Okay. Now how does it ensure that the store of value, the it's a good store of value, and it maintains its value? The first thing is the limited supply. Okay, there are not going to be more than 21 million Bitcoin, and there is nobody that can change that. Given the size of the network, the algorithm is now at a level where you cannot possibly mutate or manipulate the nodes which have that algorithm. There are thousands and thousands of nodes, possibly like very close to 1 million nodes, okay, which are running the same algorithm, which basically specifies that there cannot be more than 21 million Bitcoin that could be mined. Okay, so you have a limited supply of Bitcoin, okay, which cannot be changed because you'll have to go and change everyone's node, and people will not upgrade it because it is dilutive, right? If I have my wealth stored in Bitcoin, I don't want the supply to increase. So not to get into too technical, but immutability is very important feature that supports the limited supply. Okay, and then the second thing is the payment rails. Okay, that I'm able to convert the US dollar to Bitcoin. I'm able to easily buy Bitcoin. Okay, either from the exchange or over the counter. I can actually buy it from you. I can give you my car and get the Bitcoin. Right,
Yes.
Bitcoin is just it is you just have to hand me over the private key of certain amount of Bitcoin, okay, or transfer it to my address, obviously, right? So uh, so and then I can go to any other geography, like where let's say if I'm moving from US to India, or and I want to convert my US Bitcoin back. I just need to find out somebody who wants Bitcoin, or I can sell it on the exchange and get that money back. Okay, so it is a store of value. That is the key use case of Bitcoin. And then everything that has been done, like implementation of blockchain, is done to ensure the immutability and security of that store of value. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so that is where the blockchain comes in. Okay, when you have a blockchain as a data structure, what happens is every transaction that's committed on the block, okay, the next block is going to contain the hash, SHA-256 hash or digital signature of previous block in its header.
Got it. And people can read about Merkle root if you are interested in knowing the
Yeah.
technical details. Like, these things are not new. You'll be surprised, but the
Correct.
whole subject of cryptography has been there. The ideas around digital currencies have been floated, but Satoshi Nakamoto kind of came up with the first practical version of it. Okay, so it's not like it just happened over the last few years.
Yeah,
The research has
cryptography
been.
Yeah, cryptography has been there since ever, like, even in 14th, 15th century, they had a much simpler cryptography, and then it evolved. I think World War II is when we made huge leaps in cryptography in
Exactly.
Germany and UK. and then I think private cryptography came along in around 50s, 60s. So everything that is used, underlying technologies within the Bitcoin, they are 20 to 30 years older than Bitcoin.
Yes, exactly. Just like deep
Yeah.
learning or data science, right? Like neural
Yeah.
network. They are all like old, but it just recently got popular.
Yeah.
So,
So
Neeraj,
yeah,
what we'll do
just
is
one
the
point.
question.
But
Yeah,
just
sure.
one point. So what Satoshi did was create a consensus algorithm using all this cryptography, and cryptography was a key part of that consensus algorithm. And then he came up with new ideas that would allow him to, bring the create this consensus algorithm that Bitcoin uses to ensure there is no double spend, okay,
Hmm.
of any money, and ensure the immutability and security of the Bitcoin. And blockchain is just a data structure. Okay, people say that blockchain is going to change the world. It is like saying that Oracle database is going to change the world. I mean, to some
Yeah.
extent, it did impact the world, but it is not
Yeah.
the database. What application you make using that database actually changes the world, right?
It's like
So
saying linked list. Linked list is going to change the
yeah,
world. Yeah.
exactly. It's like
It's the linked
saying
list.
linked list is going to change the world, right? I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, linked list may be a great data structure to use for certain application, but then there are so many other applications for which linked list or blockchain is probably the worst design choice that you could make.
Exactly. So, Neeraj, the questions are piling up. So let's start. The
Yeah,
question list that I sent you, those were my question. But do you have access to the YouTube live link? Let's start picking up questions from there.
let me open that link here.
So I sent you the in a chat the video link. So I will start posting start asking you questions. So Pawan Kumar Kompela is asking, how long do you think the major countries are from accepting cryptocurrency as a legal tender and start mining crypto on their own? And let's start to give quick answer because I see a huge list of questions. So we can move faster if possible.
I think the countries are too far from doing accepting it as a legal tender or as a currency. They will accept. They are already accepting it as an asset.
Hmm.
Okay, so for example, US, Bitcoin has been categorized as a commodity. A CFTC, under CFTC, it is considered as an asset which you can buy and sell using US dollar. But and then it is up to the people to decide. I mean, it's not the government which decides what you want to accept for selling something, right? So largely when people decide that I want to sell my software for Bitcoin, I'll sell it for Bitcoin instead of US dollar. And usually, like in US and Europe, there are no restrictions to selling something for Bitcoin. Yeah, I mean, so you can do that. And government mining, I think uh, the I think there may be some governments which are already mining. I suspect Russia and Iran, they may already be using their excess energy resources when they are kind of either they are just going to burn the gas
Hmm.
which they are drawing out, or if there are intermittent energy sources like solar energy, right? You have excess solar energy during the daytime, and you could just put it to the use and uh, mine the Bitcoin. They might be doing it because there have been a lot of capital restrictions on those two countries from US. They are sanctioned. So yeah.
Exactly. Dark Toby is asking, what is the best model to use to predict the crypto price? I tried linear regression with decent accuracy. Results also does scaling. Dark Tobias, I think your models are not going to work. It's just too
No.
volatile, buddy. Yes, so it's too volatile right now. See, cryptocurrency is disruptive technology, but just think about the phase we went through in 2000, where internet started booming. There were many companies, many frauds were happening. Company stock were overvalued, but eventually most of the companies died, and then internet still survived, the technology survived. So I think that's what is going to happen with crypto. There are so many alternate coins, there is so much hype. Most of the alternate coins are going to die. Bitcoin is a gold standard, it will survive, it will become mainstream currency eventually, but right now I think people are just gambling most of the time, and I think it's hard to make a predictive model around it, but you can try few
Correct.
like
I
standard
think
approaches here.
for Bitcoin, there is a very popular model called S2F model, uh,
Mhm.
which is very stock to flow model, which is very popular, uh, on internet for predicting the price of Bitcoin, and that has held true for last 10, 11 years. First
Mhm.
time, I think this year, last 1 month, we have seen some divergence from it, but largely we have been running very close to stock to flow model. So check
Hmm.
out stock to flow model for Bitcoin. It won't apply to any other altcoins or Ethereum, even Ethereum, because this is very specifically made for Bitcoin. What it does is it looks at it measures the scarcity of Bitcoin to the other scarce asset and how the valuation of other scarce asset are. So,
Hmm.
for example, gold, silver, uranium, or some other commodities. So it basically looks at what were their price in US dollar term given their scarcity and their supply, current supply. Right. So gold
Hmm.
has a annual supply of 2%. Right now, Bitcoin is little higher than gold in terms of supply. We are seeing little more than 2% of new mined Bitcoins every year.
Hmm.
Okay, so based on that model, they, they, there is a guy called Plan B who have put together S2F model, which is very popular, and I do use that for making investment. Anytime I see a huge divergence from S2F model, like towards the downside, I make sure to buy that dip, and
Got it.
to be a good investment.
Kashyap Vamsi is asking, talk about Shiba Inu. Is there a coin like that, Shiba Inu?
Shiba Novi, or I think,
Shiba Inu, I don't know.
yeah, I think
Shibhainu.
is it a Dogecoin developer, which is
Okay. Yeah,
Dodge.
I'm not very sure about this Shiba Inu model concept, but yeah, there are many alternate coins. So I think someone asked a question on Dogecoin as well. So Harshvardhan Teja is asking thoughts on Dogecoin. What are your thoughts on Dogecoin? Should people invest in it? Is it gonna survive the hype?
No, you should not invest in it. I mean, in short term, it will look like, it might go up. Speculators are there, people are pumping and dumping. But usually, if you're not really good trader and if you cannot predict, when
Hmm.
it's going to pump and what time you need to exit it or what is the end of the pump, you are most likely to, lose the money. And again, with such kind of investments, you cannot hold it over more than 1 year. So, any gains that you make, you are almost paying a short term capital gains tax, which is depend if you're in California, you're almost paying 50% tax on those gains, so not worth the risk. I mean,
Right.
yeah. So and it's almost impossible to, I mean, there are a lot of big whales which play into the speculations. They drive up the frenzy, they pump the price, and that is what they have been doing for last 10 years. They know
Yes.
when to get out, when to dump. 2017, millions of people lost billions of dollars buying
Hmm.
the shit coins. Okay,
Shitcoin.
Dogecoin is Dogecoin is no different because actually first thing, Dogecoin is a fork. It's like fork of Bitcoin. So
Huh.
Bitcoin and Litecoin and Lucky Coin, and there were like 5 to 6 versions, and then the Doggy Coin came along.
Hmm.
It was a joke coin, supposed to have unlimited. It doesn't have any cap on supply, so there are going to be like millions and millions of Doggy Coin. Like just imagine when there is unlimited supply of something, what happens through the price. So
Exactly. So it's no different than a fiat currency. So
yeah,
yes.
it is no
So
different than the fiat currency. And Elon Musk is pumping it every time he tweets something about Doggy Coin, it goes up. But today morning he tweeted about Come Rocket. Okay, so you should not. I mean, yeah, he is going to do
your future
whatever.
is dependent on the whims of Musk's mind, you know. So don't
Yeah,
don't put your money on that. In the book Intelligent Investor, there is a quote, popular quote, which says, "Bulls make money, bears make money, pigs get slaughtered." So don't become a pig who gets slaughtered one fine day. Okay. So I think the point that the me and Neeraj have is, I think we both, Neeraj, I'm a believer in Bitcoin, but I don't put any money in any other coin, just Bitcoin, just one thing, right? Do you have
Yeah.
the same views?
Yeah, same views. I don't have anything other than Bitcoin. Bitcoin, the reason is because it has a very clear use case and it is doing excellent on that use case. It is trying to become a store of value, global store of value, and it is checking every mark, on that use case, performing really well. There have been no security,
Flaws or nothing?
incidences. Not a single double spend transaction. There has not been any mutability. Like nobody has walked back and changed the transactions. Ethereum, there is a past precedence. The current Ethereum is actually a fork where they went back the blocks and changed the transaction. And Ethereum Classic
Okay,
is the original chain.
I
Okay.
see.
Yeah. So
So, all right, let's move on. The next question is Nubid ur Rahman. Bitcoin, I still don't understand how it works, but there are many people who doesn't understand Bitcoin. They talk about Bitcoin, but they don't understand. I made a video of explaining Bitcoin in a very simple way using analogy. So go watch that video. I think you will get the point. It
one
is.
more resource, right? I mean, Dhaval, you made a really good videos, and please do check out that. But the Bitcoin standard by Saifedean Ammous is the must read. It basically dives deep into why Bitcoin, to start with, what.
It's a book, right?
Yeah, it's a book, a very popular book, and it is very well written, very easy to read, and just blows your mind, like
If
as
you
is
can,
the case.
type the name of that book in the Zoom chat here, I will paste in the live link. And meanwhile, I'll move on to the next question. Any best platform to invest in crypto India? So if someone is in India, do you know, because in US there is Coinbase. Do you know about any platform in India if someone wants to invest in Bitcoin?
I think use the most popular one. I think a lot of my friends have been using WazirX.
Mhm.
Recently, I think there was some different exchange before. Don't know about the one that is at top right now, but just look at what is the most popular. I think the one that is most popular is going to have the most buyers and seller, higher liquidity, and if they scam, then or if they run away with the funds or do something wrong, there'll be like a lot more people you can tag along to sue them, or
That's a good way of thinking about it. Also, there will be mental satisfaction that, okay, not only I got scammed, there are a million other people who got
So
scammed.
there is a security in the crowd, right? So that, and then just one more advice: don't keep your coins on the exchange. Pull them out on the hardware wallet. If you are going to, if you are going to be saving for longer time, you should not keep anything on hot wallet or on the exchange. Take it out, put it on the hardware wallet, save it, save the key phrases, save the private keys, learn how to, how to manage private keys using the hardware wallets such as Ledger and Trezor. They are the most popular hardware wallets.
Mhm. Okay, Jain Shaikh, hey buddy, I know you. So he's asking what is crypto mining and who decides this currency value. So again, for crypto mining is a huge topic. We can keep on talking about it. I have made a video, Shaikh, so please watch it. And who decides its currency value? Well, it's like just like trading. Right now, like just the way you trade stocks. So it's just a supply and demand. If there is a more demand, if people are ready to pay more value, then the Bitcoin value will go high. Okay, I'll move
Correct.
on
So
to the
it
next.
just depends on the demand for the Bitcoin, right? So, and Bitcoin, the demand for the Bitcoin is largely driven by the inflation in the currency. So as Federal Reserve prints more US dollars, people are scrambling to get out of the US dollar and invest in the other assets. Now they have an option to invest in the stocks. So if you have a good opportunity to buy a good stock, you could go there. But the stocks right now are a very crowded space.
Mm.
Everything is super highly valued. Real estate is another, another asset class where you can invest. But the problem with real estate is that um, its supply is huge, and then again you have to find out the good opportunity. If people have made a lot of money in real estate. Similarly, Bitcoin, it is a store of value. It's like buying a gold. People do invest in gold for savings and to protect against inflation. So same with the Bitcoin. If you want to protect yourself from the inflation, as I said, store of value. You put some dollars in, some years later, you can basically sell the Bitcoin, get the US dollar worth more than uh, the inflation back.
Yes. Mohammed Hashir is asking about best internationally available trading platform for crypto. Coinbase.com is a very popular platform here in US. So I think you can go
Binance,
with it.
Binance is another one.
Binance is another one.
FinX.
Yes.
There are a lot of them. Just search on the internet. There are. I think just go with the top 5. There are a lot of exchanges which let you leverage. There are some exchange. I think Bitfinex or someone which lets you leverage 1x to 1 to 100. So
Mm.
you put 1 Bitcoin and you can have a position equivalent to 100 Bitcoins. Not advising, that kind of leverage, but that level of trading opportunities are available.
All right. Shiva Santos is asking, how do you mine Dogecoin? Any ideas? I don't have any idea on how to mine
No,
Dogecoin.
I have never looked into it. But yeah, I think there must be some mining rigs, or I think you should be able to mine it on the computer itself.
Yes. All right, Rahul, as most of the miners are treated as virus, is it okay to use one like unmineable? Most of the miners are treated as virus. Okay, I did not understand your question. Rahul, please be more specific. Nandini is asking blockchain. Why is it getting more essential? So now we are talking about the business use cases. Okay, blockchain, like why it has a brighter future, what kind of use cases it is going to solve in the future. So I will ask about, I will mention my own personal experience with blockchain, right? So I send money to my mom. I remit money through some remittance platform from US to India. And that exchange is costly. Usually I pay some percentage commission and the transaction takes time. If I transfer that in Bitcoin, it is like within seconds or minutes and there is no third party involved. It's like I'm transferring my money to my mom. Why should I pay some commission to third party? It is secure. I have a friend in China. He will transfer the money through Bitcoin to his parents in China. So remittance, international remittance is a very big use case. Let's say I'm hiring a developer in some suburban African country, and if I have to make a payment to him or her, that the platform that I'm using, you need to have the banking, you need to have the infrastructure. But with Bitcoin, none of that is needed. All you need is internet, computer, and you can easily transfer money from place 1A to place B very, very easily. You don't need to involve any third party, right? Do you want to talk about other use cases, Neeraj?
So Bitcoin has all the use cases that money has. Plus, it has a really good use case in store of value. As I said, gold. People use gold to save the money. Bitcoin should be used to save your money or value, and it will protect you against the inflation uh, over a longer period of time. You cannot do that within a month. Bitcoin, appreciates over the time, so it will give you the protection against the inflation. That is the key use case. Okay. Then on top of that, there are a lot of other use cases like remittance, quick transfer of amount without involving any third party, avoiding all the capital controls. How I
Yes.
came to know about Bitcoin was in 2013, I was working with some Eastern European developers, and I was trying to find the ways to send them or pay them. Okay, and US had capital controls and sanctions against some of those countries, and they asked to make the payment in Bitcoin.
Okay.
They were completely comfortable accepting Bitcoin in 2013. So I had to go and find out what is Bitcoin. Like, why are
Okay.
these people asking for Bitcoin? Yeah. And then I went, bought some Bitcoin and started making payment to these engineers who are based out of Russia, Eastern Europe, who were working for me. And they were happy to accept Bitcoin, and they still do.
Cool. Uh, Samir Abu Anandi, can you give some examples for blockchain implementation in a health sector or in the industry rather than for cryptocurrencies? Yeah. Any examples in
No,
a health
so
sector?
it will no. So the only good application for the blockchain that I have seen is making the money, or
Hmm.
like developing a cryptocurrency on top of that. Otherwise, as a blockchain data, as I said, like blockchain data structure is immutable and it is very slow and kind of redundant. You are better to use MySQL to make a healthcare application than using blockchain.
Blockchain, right? Yeah. But in general answer is Bitcoin has similar use case as currency, so for making payments. So if you're talking about a technology that is replacing currency, it's a big deal, you're talking about disrupting the entire world. Okay. Always Sufi is asking, what is the best free software for mining cryptocurrency? Also name of free software for mining. Yes, for mining cryptocurrencies, I think you can, let's say bitcoin.org has a Bitcoin core software which you can download and you can run that software. Luckily, all of these softwares are available for free. The
All
source
softwares
code
are
is
free. All softwares are free.
all softwares are free. The source code is there on GitHub. You can look it up. All you need is a specific hardware and electricity. So you don't have to modify any code, nothing. You don't do anything. Just download the software, start running it on computer. On computer, it's not going to be profitable because
Yeah,
someone will
it won't work.
beat
You
you.
don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to buy the rigs from manufacturers of Bitcoin mining rigs. Bitmain is the biggest one. It was based out of China, but I don't know where they are based out of right now. But they make the mining rigs, which are the ones that are required today, given the difficulty level of mining. You cannot mine Bitcoin using your GPU or your computer hardware.
So
Those
Neeraj,
take long
let me
time.
ask you, can I mine Bitcoin using my NVIDIA DGX station? You see this big
No,
box here?
yeah, I understand that. I think you can do the Ethereum, but not the Bitcoin.
Not the Bitcoin. All right. So you need a specific hardware. I cannot use my $150,000 machine there. Cool. All right. So let's move on to the next question here. Will Doge get an end? Sahul Hamid is asking, is Dogecoin going to face a big failure in the future?
Yeah, it is pretty certain, right? I mean, failure in the terms of price, yes, it will correct, and eventually, the once the price falls, everyone gets disappointed and walks away.
Mm-hmm.
We have seen 2017 was the year
Mm-hmm.
when thousands of such cryptocurrencies were created, thousands of such tokens were created. People invested so much. There was a lot of opium that was sold, a lot of fake promises, a lot of scams, Ponzi schemes, pyramid schemes. People lost billions of dollars. Some of those currencies, which were considered to be the next big thing, never recovered even back to its original value. Okay, so yeah, I mean, it is difficult to exactly say when, but it is inevitable.
Yeah, so friends, don't put your hard-earned money on these alternate coins. You know, you have to understand this. You are taking a big risk here. You are getting into almost like a gambling. with
there is a lot
who
of
don't.
speculation. There is a lot of speculation, a lot of pump and dump artists who are trying to take advantage of the new people who are trying to get into the cryptocurrency or Bitcoin. So be very careful. The most important thing possibly you could do, I mean, we should not blankly say that don't invest in altcoin, but if you invest in any altcoin without really deep diving into it and studying it really well, understanding very clearly why it is going to do good, uh, then you are very exposed to the risk. If you don't do that homework, okay, you are very much exposed to the risk. There could be someone running a Ponzi scheme behind it, and
Yeah,
you will remain a bag holder. That currency will be worth nothing. You won't be able to sell it for anything, and he would walk away with your Bitcoin. Most of the what is the main use case of altcoins? To take away your Bitcoin.
right. And Mark Cuban said that, if someone asked him a question about Dogecoin, and he says, okay, it's better than going to casino and doing gambling.
Yeah.
So
So
if you're, yeah, so if you're in that mindset, like if you have your hard-earned money which you have saved, if you have extra money which you are ready to lose, then go for it. But be very careful about the temptation. The temptation when you hear, oh, your friend made, couple of $100,000. It's very tempting. So you need to control that emotions. Remember that intelligent investor quote: bulls make money, bears make money, pigs get slaughtered. And most likely, as an individual investors, you will be pig, because this big institutional investor will drive the whole game, and they will slaughter you cold-heartedly, like one day. So just be very careful. Okay. Anurag is asking, how do we know where it will go, where this whole crypto thing will go? Because there is no organization controlling it. So Anurag, I will say it's actually good that no organization is controlling it. It's a secure protocol, proven protocol. Think about Wikipedia. I don't think it's the best example, but just think about it.
BitTorrent
Wikipedia,
is the best.
BitTorrent, right? BitTorrent works. Wikipedia. When I heard about Wikipedia for the first time, Neeraj, it's like anyone can go and edit the article. I was like, no way this can work. And it is the most, I think, number one platform for knowledge sharing, right? So how does that work?
Correct.
It works based on crowdsourcing, based on the fixed protocol. So Bitcoin is like that. BitTorrent is another example. So it is good actually that no organization
That
is
is the key
controlling it.
feature. So not having a single party controlling it, central authority controlling it, because anytime you have a central authority or central point of control, that is actually a security risk. Okay, the governments can come and hammer them, and then they can break into that currency. They can apply all the censorship laws, capital uh, capital restriction rules, AIML rules. Sorry, not the so what is it called? Anti-money laundering,
Hmm.
rules. All the
Hmm.
regulations will become applicable because there is a central authority that government can put into jail if they do not behave. Okay,
Yes.
with Bitcoin, because there is no one, there is nothing that governments around the world or like even a big companies can do anything to it. Like there is no single point of failure.
Yep. Niru Devi is asking about our views on top five crypto which has stable future. Well, my view is, okay, I only believe in Bitcoin. I don't believe in any other coins. Same here, Niraj. Like, do you have
Yeah,
any views
same
on?
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
There is no second. Bitcoin is number one. Ethereum, people say, is number two. I don't think there has been any dominant use cases of Bitcoin yet. It is still the you know product in works. It is trying to find the use case. It was intended to become a world computer, but then they changed it to smart contract. Then they changed it to dApps, decentralized app. Then they changed it to DeFi. So they keep chasing the use cases.
You're talking
Of
about Ethereum, right?
Ethereum, yeah.
Yes. Mm.
Which is the second most popular, most valued. coin. The problem with Ethereum is that it is a software trying to find the use case.
Got it.
It's not the use case. Yeah, I mean, generally you have the use case first, and then you make the software for that, right? So
You just build a product and now you're trying to search for
trying to
users.
find the problem like that. It is
Yes,
like
yes.
that.
Navnit Mehra is asking, tell me about Pi. Is that a coin like Pi, man? I don't know about all these coins.
There are millions of coin, man. I mean,
Dude, Navneet, you're just don't again, you're gambling, okay? If you're putting money, in my view, in any coin other than Bitcoin, you're gambling. You are at your own.
you're
Your
open
money
to
can
risk. Yeah, you're open
you're
to
open
risk.
to huge risk. The risk is huge. Your money can literally become zero. Okay. Are you ready for it? If yes,
Yeah.
go for it.
And just one more thing to remember, right? All these altcoins do not fall under the US government regulation or
Hmm.
regulation of other government. No government is looking out for you. And all this currency, all these people who are making these altcoins, they are not based, or they are mostly anonymous. You don't know who they are. Okay, they will take your Bitcoin and there will be no way to get it back.
Yes.
And so, yeah, be very careful.
Prudvi Arun is asking, since it has no legal transformation, how much secure is it to invest in cryptocurrency? So, Prudvi, it is bad. It is more secure than putting your money in dollar or rupees because Fed Reserve is manipulating dollar. They printed more than $4 trillion during the whole pandemic situation. Same Reserve Bank of India, they keep on printing, whereas Bitcoin is secured by a protocol. It's like the math is the protector of that
Cryptography.
algorithm. Cryptography, the science, the nature. So it is much more secure than putting your money in either dollar or rupees. I had few $1,000s in my bank account. The pandemic hit, government started printing money like crazy, $4 trillion. And every day my heartbeats are going up because it is almost like if I had $10,000 in my bank account, government is actually taking that money away. You understand, right? Because they are reducing the value of my money. So I'm always worried. I never keep too much cash with me because I'm always worried, and government will not stop this. 2008 they started this money printing business. They have been doing it before as well,
Yeah.
but it went to different scale altogether. From 2008 it has not stopped. It even accelerated. They will continue printing money. It's not going to stop. And if you have a lot of cash, you should be super worried. Your money is being devalued by government. So you need to think about tangible assets, real estate, building a solid business, which where you have more control. For example, Neeraj has his own company. I have my YouTube channel. We are putting a lot of time in building a solid business, which will have value. Today we are getting payments in dollar. Tomorrow we'll get in Bitcoin. So invest in yourself, buy tangible properties, gold, Bitcoin again, digital gold, real estate. But cash, Ray Dalio says cash is trash. So cash is, I'm a total believer in that statement. Cash is trash.
Yeah, I mean, given that government is printing so much, it would be like having saving in an ice cube. It's continuously melting. The value of your dollar is going to keep falling. Even Indian rupees, same. Because everything is linked to US dollar. So if US prints more, it just gives you India and all the other currencies which are linked to US dollar ability to print even more, and
Hmm.
that basically takes away your savings. So if you are forced to invest in the assets, and when you are forced to invest, try to invest in the hardest assets possible, the one that
Yes,
are going to retain the most value in the future. Okay, and the
correct.
Bitcoin is probably the one that in last 10 years has given consistent returns of 200% year over year. So if you look at the annualized returns of
Hmm.
Bitcoin, we are still trending at 200% return. Like there's been no asset like that. And Bitcoin is a self custody. Like it is completely in your control. You can take it anywhere in the world. You can sell it anytime you want, and you cannot take your real estate away. Like I may buy a house in Sunnyvale or San Francisco. Okay, but the local government may increase the property tax. or maybe the crime goes up, and my real estate will get affected. I cannot take it out of the country or to another place. So yeah, similarly, gold, there is a huge risk for confiscation. Like, government have in the past confiscated gold from the people. Okay, when the price, when they start that, currency becomes garbage, go to Venezuela, or, such places. Governments do confiscate gold, and it's very difficult to take it out of the country. I mean, there are airport checks. It's difficult to take across the borders. Okay, with Bitcoin, all you have to do is remember 24 words, and then you can go anywhere in the world. Nobody can steal anything from your brain, right?
Got it. A view on Picoin, or PT is asking, view on Picoin. Man, people are coming with all these new
Yeah, so a
coins.
lot of people are talking about Picoin. Maybe the pump is coming.
Yes. Maybe we should start gambling in that Picoin, Neeraj. We should do like Google trend analysis, like where the trend is rising. Maybe invest there, do some
Yeah.
gambling, get some quick money, and get out of. But friends, again, any coin other than Bitcoin, you are taking a
It-
huge risk.
yeah, it is a speculation. It is not a good long-term investment. Anything other than Bitcoin, you can be rest assured. It is volatile because obviously it is getting repriced right now. But over the longer term, look at the trend, look at the chart. It has gone in one direction,
So
and
let me
that
ask you this interesting question, Neeraj. What do you think Bitcoin's price will be in next 5 years?
I think we will be close to 300 or $400,000.
Wow. Okay. So that's what you're
That is
predicting
what
based on.
I expect. Yeah, not the investment advice again. This is just my estimate. The stock to flow model says that we should be closer to 250,000 by end of next year. Uh, and based on the scarcity and increasing adoption, we would keep seeing the price go higher and higher.
Okay. Avishek Meiti is asking how to start learning blockchain. Well, the edutech platforms like Udemy, whatever, have I think a lot of courses on blockchain. I think there is a very nice blockchain course given by Princeton University professor. Maybe I'll link that in our video description below. But you can do that. There is a book written on Bitcoin by who is that Greek guy, Andres
Yeah,
Aaron.
Antonopoulos. So, Mastering Bitcoin by him is a very good book. And then there is another book called Programming Bitcoin by Jimmy Song, which is also really good.
And Mastering Bitcoin book is, by the way, available as a PDF for free on GitHub. So look for it. Amazing book. I started reading it. I have not read it completely, but it's a good book. Akash Belide is asking, what is the scene with the Visa plus BlockFi Bitcoin credit card? Have you heard about some credit card based on Bitcoin, Neeraj?
Yeah, there are a lot of credit card based on Bitcoin. So Visa it does offer you ability to, pay them the Bitcoin, and then they will give you the US dollar to spend on the card. Okay, so they do offer it, but we are trying to do the alternative thing, right? Converting the US dollar into the Bitcoin, not the other way
Not the
around.
other way.
Yeah, but see, like if you are going to Europe, like for traveling or tourism or whatever could be the purpose on business trip, and you want the spending card, there are travel cards available where you could deposit a crypto and get that currency, that nation's currency as a travel card, and then you can spend it over there while you are there. So we did that when we went to New Zealand. And just get the debit card, like put the Bitcoin and get the equal amount of New Zealand dollars in whatever price is going on, which then after you could spend over in New Zealand. So you could avoid the TravelX fees, commissions, which are usually like 5%. Sometimes they are as ridiculously high as 7 to 8%.
Got it. Shohel Hussein is asking, do you buy Bitcoin? Well, both. I think I don't buy that many Bitcoin, but I think Neeraj is an investor in Bitcoin. I'm also investing a little bit in Bitcoin. we don't invest in any other coins. Is that right, Neeraj?
Yeah, so I buy the dips. Like when I see that the price has fallen, like, to make a lot of people very uncomfortable about this. When the FUD is at peak, fear, uncertainty, and doubt is at peak, is when I try to buy the most possible, like every possible Bitcoin I could possibly buy with the dollar. And yeah, I have kept up with that ritual since about 2015. Like
Wow.
every time, yeah, I have bought Bitcoin at $350, $800, $2,000, 3,000, and yeah, also at 48,000, 45,000.
He has seen the whole evolution. Like,
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it is like that, So it
you
feels
are on
bad.
that ride, yeah? You have seen highs, downs, you have seen everything.
So yeah, it feels bad, like something that you were buying for 500, then you have to buy it for 50,000.
It feels bad, yeah, yeah, yeah. Harshvardhan Teja is asking your opinions on free mining bitcoins which haven't been launched yet, like Pi Network, Bcoin, Alpha Coin, TimeStop, etc. Are they worth enough to mine daily for free? I'm not sure, Harshvardhan. You should waste your time. But if you want to spend time, start to spend time learning something, learning AI, data science, learning something that will help your in your career, help you build a business. Someone asked this question to Warren Buffett, like, what is the best investment you can make? And Warren Buffett said, the best investment you can make is to invest in yourself, like train yourself, make yourself more powerful, improve your communication. I think that I still believe in that. So I spend majority of time in my own business, my career, learning new things, and then as an investment, I spend some time, but I don't spend crazy amount of time there. Neeraj, what are your
Yeah.
thoughts?
Yeah. So if you want to learn more about the opportunities, or like, if you're looking for opportunities in Bitcoin, then Lightning Network, which is a medium of payment on the layer two being built on top of the Bitcoin, learning more about Lightning Network is going to help you big time. There will be a lot of labs like Lightning applications. So if you are, if you want to create this is an emerging ecosystem. So if you are the first one to create an application on top of that, you will likely get much higher adoption, and
Hmm.
you create a business out of it. So
Yes.
that is one thing that is about to explode. Lightning Network, it is a decentralized medium of exchange on the top of Bitcoin, which is layer one.
Got it. So Neeraj and his brother has a company called OpenExcel in India. 350 people work, software engineers work for your company. So in your company, Neeraj, are you developing lightning these light
Yeah, we
apps?
are exploring. We are running the Lightning node. We have people contributing to the Lightning protocol, like open source, and we are developing the labs, the applications for Lightning network. So, but
Great.
those won't have the tokens or altcoins. These are simply applications. We would
Hmm.
just charge for people to use the application, not for. We will not be like creating the altcoin and then showing it, like asking people to buy the altcoin and really not develop anything and just run away with people. That's not how it is going to work. It will be a software, and if you want to use it, pay for it. If you don't want to use it, fine.
Okay. Great. Param Amin is asking, can Ethereum surpass Bitcoin in the future?
Very less likely. Ethereum doesn't have a fixed supply. It is unlimited supply. It was never made to be the store of value. It was uh, created for different use cases. It was created as a utility. So the gas in the Ethereum, the gas fees, or the ether that you have to pay as a gas, would uh, it there cannot be limitation to it, because there will be 1,000, maybe the expectation is that there will be a lot of applications running or smart contracts running on the Ethereum. And if you choke the supply of the gas or the ether, then those applications would become vulnerable, because they will be too expensive to use. So ether doesn't have any cap on it doesn't have any fixed supply, so it'll just keep minting. And you will likely see the price hold. So yeah, I mean, most likely not. It hasn't even caught up to the 2017 high yet. It's far away from Bitcoin's 2007. Like Ethereum's price in Bitcoin has not even made all-time high yet.
Got it. Okay, BTR is asking, I have invested in Dogecoin. Can I withdraw? Dude, so he's listening to our talk. Now he's thinking about selling it. Look, you sell it today, the money will become 5x tomorrow, and don't blame us, right? So understand what you are
Yeah.
into. You are into kind of a gambling game. So your money can go up, your money can go down. So it is up to you to decide. I or Neeraj will not give any advice here, because if I say, okay, sell it today, it might go 5x and definitely you are going to blame us, or it might go down. Again, you are purely gambling, high risk game. Okay. It can go up. Elon Musk will make a statement tomorrow. It will go up. I'm not saying it might not, but you don't have any control on the situation. So if you have invested, let's say if I am you, I would probably not take any loss, because the hype is still there around Dogecoin. It will probably go up. Once it goes up, maybe I will sell it and put my money in Bitcoin or some other better safe place. Okay, what about Hedra coin? It has a less consumption power. Man, I'm hearing all kind of coins. Again, same views that we have on the any other coin.
See, a
All
lot of
right.
people come up with this, better properties in one or other aspect than Bitcoin. So, as they are saying that, okay, this coin consumes less energy to mine, right? Uh, Ethereum is going to come out with proof of stakes, which requires zero energy consumption. Okay, but there are actually a lot of, you know, downside to proof of stake. There is also downside to using less energy. It just makes the network more vulnerable. You are more
Mm,
exposed to 51% attacks. You are, the network can be brought down by brute force, available computing power. So less energy would mean less proof of work, means less security compared to Bitcoin.
mm,
So yeah, don't think like that. Energy is abundantly available. Energy is not the issue. The issue is the carbon emissions.
mm,
Okay, sun is like literally throwing like millions of mm, what megajoules of energy or gigajoules. Like you cannot even measure amount of energy on the earth. Okay, you can use the energy to mine Bitcoin, as much energy as it is required. The problem happens when you're burning, like people are concerned when you're burning the coal or, you know, uh, things that make the environment uh, polluted. Uh, and I think Elon Musk kind of referred to that the carbon emissions should
mm,
not be, is something that he is concerned about. I think most of the mining is done using the renewable sources of energy. So his concern is little misplaced. Yes, there are some Chinese miner who, because the coal prices are that cheap over there, it is, they are using that to mine it. But you cannot stop it. I mean, miners are going to look for the cheapest electricity charges or energy cost to mine.
mm,
That's
mm,
how they make the profit. So and it's not easy to find out who is using what. It could
mm,
only be the self-regulation,
mm,
and so yeah, we just hope that there will be more use of renewable energy to mine
mm.
Bitcoin, but there is no way to regulate it.
Got it. Cool. Kuldeep Deol was referring to our Wikipedia reference. He's saying none of the institutes suggest taking even single reference from Wikipedia because of its quality. Dude, I don't know what you're talking about. Wikipedia has the best quality. I always use Wikipedia. It's so much
Yeah, I think
reliable.
it is the gateway. Like if you want to get the first version information, first level information about any subject, it is good. But yeah, if you want to like become expert at anything, Wikipedia is not the place. Like, then you have to
Right.
go into much better sources than that. I mean, Wikipedia is like, quick reference
Quick
to really.
reference, yeah. And see, it has a lot of moderators. So if I'm talking about, let's say, if I'm reading article on Bitcoin, there are some Bitcoin like authorities who will be the moderators on that article, and they will make sure that people don't write shit thing about Bitcoin. And usually the information is quite reliable. Okay, Vinay J is asking, what is your thought about Elon Musk influence on crypto? Well, the world knows about it. Elon Musk is a very influential personality in general. So if he says something about, let's say, rice, the rice price is going to go up. But again, you don't want to put your money on Elon Musk's whims, So better try to learn something from that person, the kind of achievements he has made. But I would not make any
Yeah.
investment based
Yeah.
on what
Musk
he's
has
saying.
50 million followers on Twitter, so he has a lot of power. And then largely he has been able to influence the Bitcoin prices because Tesla is holding more than $2 million worth of Bitcoin. So
Hmm.
people are concerned that he might dump his position, and they
Hmm.
are factoring the risk of him dumping his position and how much the impact on the price will be. They are already factoring that in based on his withdrawals from several different altcoins and going against the Bitcoin. So, but yeah, so there have been a lot of opinions in Bitcoin community. Most of the people think that if you do not believe in the Bitcoin, you should just sell it. I mean, just go out of it and do whatever you want.
Hmm.
Bitcoin is going to be much bigger than Elon Musk in future. So
Ayush
yeah,
Gupta
if
is
you don't
asking.
like it,
Okay, sorry. Ayush Gupta is asking, I'm trying to build a Tableau dashboard on crypto analysis. What should be my approach? Well, I think this is a very vague question. I don't know what kind of analysis you're doing. So it depends on your end goal. And Tableau is quite powerful. You can do all sorts of analysis. So I'm
you
not
can do the
sure.
on-chain analytics,
Hmm.
like how the transactions are happening, how many addresses are carrying how many Bitcoin, how the Bitcoin is flowing between different addresses. There are a lot of on-chain analytics tools. They are either used for tracing the payments or they are used for estimating the activity on chain, which could be a good indicator of where the price is going to go next. So it is used in a lot of, so you can do that.
Yep. Is Bitcoin a bubble?
Uh, well, it really, at any point of time, yeah, you can say that the price is very high, or but yeah, it has been there for 11 years. It has a very clear use case. It's not that we don't know the use case, what we are doing, why we want it. We know why we want it. It's very clear, so we know the use of it, so there has to be price on it. Okay, and now we can debate whether what is too high or what is too low for the Bitcoin. It will be demanded, it will be determined by the demand and supply and all the players, aggregated consensus. We have the trading exchanges which do billions of dollars of Bitcoin transactions every day. So
All right, cool. There are still more questions, but I think we already spent 1 hour here. So in the
yeah,
interest of time, we'll probably end it here. Neeraj, thank you very much for giving your time for this valuable podcast.
yeah, same here. Well, nice talking with you and taking everyone's questions. We're really investing, happy investing. I mean, the best thing you can do is possibly deep dive into understanding the Bitcoin, read the programming Bitcoin, read the Bitcoin standard, understand it really well, and you may find a very good career opportunity in this emerging
Yes,
technology. Yeah,
yes. So we are
and
going to
there are
put
a
the
lot
link.
of possibilities. Yeah,
We're going to put the links of those books and the references that we discussed during this conversation. Okay. So I'm going to end the stream now.
okay.